My name is Magda Freedom Rod, and I have been on a path to conscious eating for about 20 years now. And like all of us, learning every day and evolving with every opportunity, every circumstance, to learn more about food and food choices and how they affect us and the animals that we share the planet with and the planet and all the people that we share the planet with too. And it's my observation that many people, most people, probably 99% of the people on the planet are not eating consciously. So we're not being mindful of the food choices that we make. So my definition of conscious eating is being mindful of the food choices that we make, and not only how they impact us and our own body temple, but also the planet, the animals, everybody on the planet, every sentient being that we share the planet with. Taking those factors into account when we choose what we're going to consume, what we're going to spend our money on, what we're going to put in our body. And a lot of these choices carry a lot more weight and power than most of us realize. That's what I've come to learn. So my goal here today is to plant seeds of awareness in you. And you know, I trust and believe that you're all conscious eaters and you're doing the best that you can. It's my hope that you'll learn something from this talk today that can help evolve your choices to the next level. There's another film that came out, and this is just really a testament to the power of media. I mean, if you're a filmmaker and you want to make documentaries, this is powerful medicine for the planet. It's a powerful tool to help people awaken. So this other film came out that I consider to be the sequel to An Inconvenient Truth. It's called Cowspiracy. How many people have seen that? Okay, just 10% maybe. All right, homework. Homework for all of you. Please watch Cowspiracy. It is a game changer. It is what really put me firmly on this path that I'm on now. Just shouting from the mountaintops to anyone who will listen, conscious eating is the solution to a huge list of major problems on the planet. It's one simple decision that we make every day, one simple choice, what we're going to put in our mouth, what we're going to spend our dollars on for food. This is the difference between a healthy, sustainable future and a poisoned, destroyed, unhealthy planet and people. Like, this is a really powerful choice that most people don't even recognize is that powerful. What kind of a world do you want to live in? Do you want to live on a poisoned planet with poisoned water and overfished oceans and dying, people starving in Africa, right? Or do you want to live on a healthy, thriving planet full of healthy, thriving people? And whatever your answer is, I mean, we all want the same thing, right? Nobody wants the poisoned planet. Nobody's going to choose that. We all want the healthy, sustainable planet, right? I mean, is anybody here on the dark side? No? Okay. Well, you know what I mean. So like we all want the same things. We all value clean air, clean oceans, right? We value the Amazon rainforest, right? Do we care about the rainforest, right? I mean, that's the lungs of the planet. We need that oxygen for us to survive. It's also, do you know, only 1% of the Amazon rainforest has actually been studied, the medicine of the rainforest, only 1%. But do you also know that 91% of that forest has been decimated in the name of animal agriculture? That is the main cause of the deforestation of the Amazon. So when you start to know these things, it may shift your behavior. It may shift your choices, and we'll get more into details. Another game-changing turning point, I ended up at a festival called Veg Fest. At the time, it was called World Fest. This was in 2009. And I witnessed the most radiant, shiny, happy people I'd ever seen in my life, skipping around, beautiful skin, big smiles, tons of energy. And I was just like, I hadn't really seen people like that before. And I was like, what are they doing? What's their secret? I want what they have. You know that feeling when you meet someone and they're just so radiant? And and it wasn't just one person, it was like an entire group of people. And I was, wow, what is their secret? So over the course of the few days that I was there, I came to realize that they were plant-based. They were eating plant-based. They were mostly raw superfoods, but they were all plant-based. This is like a vegan festival. And so for me, that was a big eye-opener to witness like the radiant health of people that were just eating plants. I don't like using the word vegan because to me, for a lot of people, it brings up resistance and it can seem kind of fanatical, right? So I go with the term plant-based. So everything that I teach and practice is plant-based. So I don't eat animals, mainly for environmental reasons, but also for my own body temple's health, and also, of course, for the animals. So thumbs up for all the yogis. And you know, yoga is such a practice that brings you closer to your center and raises your awareness. And also, I might add, about yoga, one of the founding principles of conscious eating, and the program that I teach is ahimsa. Who's familiar with the term ahimsa? Woo, we're going to learn something. Couple people, cool. But the rest of you are going to learn something right now. That's so exciting. So ahimsa is a Sanskrit term that means do no harm, or also known as nonviolence. And it's one of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And it's one of the precepts of yoga. And it means do no harm. And that's in thought, word, and action. And it applies towards yourself as well as to everyone else, every sentient being, even the ants, right? And the birds and the cows. And also every person, every other person, but also yourself is a big one. A lot of people are violent towards themselves, right? With their words, with the things that they put in their bodies, the substances, the bad foods. You know when you're doing it. You know when you're putting things in there that are not honoring your body temple, right? So ahimsa is a foundational principle of conscious eating, because the aspiration is to do no harm. The aspiration is to reduce suffering on the planet and improve and increase well-being. I got to a point where I really understood that taking a stand for something was what needed to happen, that it was really empowering. So today, with my work with conscious eating, it's about taking a stand. It's taking a stand for love. Really, it's all love at the end of the day. And we're talking about self-love, animal love, and planet love. So I want to talk about 5 steps that you can take to become a more conscious eater. The first one is the crowd out method. So we're crowding out the animal products and the processed foods by adding healthy foods. So I have a free ebook on my website. It's consciouseating101.com, and I hope you'll all take my card today so you can be reminded and check it out when you go home. It's a free ebook that has my top 10 superfoods for conscious eating. So there's these 10 ingredients that if you add those to your diet on a regular basis, you're automatically going to crowd out some of the less healthy choices. So that's one starting point right there. Another thing is to add plant-based proteins, right? So as you add the plant-based proteins, you can let go of the animal proteins. By the way, our culture, if you haven't noticed, is protein obsessed to a very unhealthy level, and most people eat way more protein than they need, okay? And this is leading to a lot of disease. The number one killer in the United States being heart disease, most often caused by diet, by cholesterol from animal products. Every 30 seconds, somebody in this country drops dead of a heart attack. No symptoms, no warning. Gone, right? Look at their diet. What have they been eating for the last 30, 40, 50 years, okay? These diseases, obesity, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, all these major killers in our society are mainly diet-related, diet and lifestyle-related, and 90% preventable. So what I like to teach is that prevention is the cure. We don't ever have to get sick. Let's not wait until we're sick in a hospital with that emergency to say, oh shit, I need to change what I'm doing. We can change it now. We can practice prevention and never have to get sick and just thrive and make a positive contribution to the planet for our time here. So we're adding plant-based proteins. I have a whole lesson in my e-course about what those are, good ones, what the best ones are. The third thing you want to do is add dairy alternatives. So it's easier than ever to not have dairy in your diet, especially in California. I don't know how many of us are local. I think probably most of us. But no matter where you are, even in the country now, there are plant-based alternatives, right? You go to the store, there's 20 kinds of milk, right? You got oat milk, you got hemp milk, you got almond milk, you got soy milk, you got so many options, coconut milk. I mean, there's so many yummy ones. You can make your own at home. I have lots of recipes. It's easy to make your own. It's best to make your own. But it's easier than ever to be dairy-free. And if the first thing to give up really is dairy. Dairy is fraught with cruelty and suffering for the animals. It wreaks absolute havoc on your body. Milk does not do a body good. It's quite the polar opposite. The dairy industry has spent billions and billions of dollars to condition you to believe that it's good for you. I'm here to tell you that's not the case, and there's a better way. One statistic is that a gallon of milk takes 1,000 gallons of water to produce. So from an environmental perspective, from a drought perspective, plant milk is going to be a far better choice for the environment, for the water crisis, than also for your body and obviously for the animals as well. The fourth thing that you want to do to practice conscious eating is to add more produce. Eat more fresh produce, dark leafy greens. You want to be juicing and blending. So eating more fresh produce. Shop at your farmer's market. Grow your own. Do your best to get more produce into you. Juicing and blending are the top ways to get a lot more of that stuff into you. If you hate eating vegetables, go get your green juice. Or come to my workshop and learn how to make some blended things that are going to get a lot more of those green vegetables into you. The fifth thing you want to do to be a conscious eater is to educate yourself about the benefits of a plant-based diet, benefits for the planet. I think for me it's a huge driving force when you understand that the rainforest is being decimated, that the oceans are being overfished, that the leading cause of climate change, which is the biggest threat to our species, we have a say in how that goes. We can turn that around. The Titanic is right there in front of the iceberg right now, right, on this planet. If enough of us jump to one end, we can turn that baby around. Like, that's why I'm here. Thank you for showing up to hear this message. Yeah. Woo. That's it. Like I said, conscious eating is self-love, animal love, and planet love. So from the health perspective, all those diseases that I mentioned, cancer, diabetes, obesity, and heart disease, take up 75% of our healthcare costs in this country. So people going into emergency rooms and having bypass operations and all these things to counteract the effects of eating animals. So think about, I don't know what that number is, 75% of our healthcare costs, but all that money that could be going towards something else. Like, how about we subsidize organic farmers instead of the GMO farmers? What a concept, right? I mean, open up some money for that. So that's healthcare costs. 70% of Americans now are overweight or obese, and eating animals leads to obesity and diabetes. 1 in 2 people suffer from heart disease. 94% of the SAD diet, also known as the standard American diet, is empty calories. So what the majority of people are walking around and eating is completely devoid of nutrition. It's no wonder we're all getting sick, right? There's a better way. One of the key things, one of the little mantras, little nuggets that you can take away from this talk today, when you're standing in line, or which food truck do I go to, and you're going to make a decision, or you're in the store with your cart, like, what am I going to buy for dinner tonight? Eat more plants. Hashtag eat more plants. Like, make it your mantra, right? All day, every day, everywhere you go, every time you're going to make a food choice. Oh, what am I going to have? Oh, they have vegetable empanadas and they have beef empanadas. Eat more plants. I'm going to go for the veggie version, right? You don't realize the power of that choice. If we could all switch the hamburger for a hemp burger, like, that one shift right there can change the trajectory of our entire species and planet. It seems like a small choice, but it's so powerful. We have 7 billion people on the planet today. By 2050, we're projected to have somewhere between 9 and 11 billion people. The demand for meat and animal products is going to double by 2050. We're already beyond maxed out. We're already poisoning the planet beyond what it can stand. And we're going to double that. Or are we? Right? There's another way. There's another way. There's another choice. Let's all get conscious about our choices, and let's run to the other end of the Titanic together. Grab your friends, grab your family. Let's get over there and turn it around. I want this talk to be the punch in the gut for you that I got when I saw An Inconvenient Truth in 2006, 10 years ago. I want this talk to plant some seeds of awareness in you that you can take and meditate on and share with your friends, with your family, with anyone that will listen, that we have power choices and there's a better way. You can take 1.5 acres, and on that 1.5 acres, you can either grow 375 pounds of meat, also known as 1 cow, or 37,000 pounds of vegetables, plants. Right? 375, I'm going to have the hamburger for dinner. 37,000, I'm going to have the hemp burger for dinner. Right? 5,000 gallons of water per pound we're producing. 50 to 100 gallons per pound we're producing for hemp. Right? Just hemp and beef. If you look at those two, like everybody's obsessed with protein, I highly advise you to go read the book Proteinaholic by Dr. Garth Davis. That's a good note for any of you who are really feeling like you need a lot of protein. We only need about 10% of protein to be optimally healthy. Plants automatically have approximately 10% protein. So if you just eat plants, you're getting all your protein. If you choose to eat a plant-based diet, the total resource savings is you're going to produce about half as much CO2. So the CO2 being the emissions that cause climate change, which is the biggest threat to our species. You're going to cut your impact in half if you choose to eat plants. You're going to use about 1/11 of the fossil fuels, which are also contributing the CO2 and causing wars, because, hey, we got to go get that oil, right? We got to have a war. We got to go over there to the Middle East and have a war so that actually we can get the oil, right? So you're going to use 1/11 of that resource. You're going to use about 1/13 the water. So your impact is going to be 1/13 of what it would be if you were eating animals. And then you're going to use 1/18 of the land, right? So your land use goes from here to here. You're going to save every single day 1,100 gallons of water. Of course, these are approximations, right? 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of forest. How many trees are in 30 square feet in the rainforest? And what's in that tree? Is it a species that has the medicine to cure cancer, right? Or is it the oxygen that we need to breathe? It could be both. 30 square feet of forest every day. Do the math. How many years you got left on this planet? How big of an impact can you make? How much of a positive contribution can you make? How lightly can you live on the planet? Every day, if you choose to eat just plants instead of animals, you're going to save 20 pounds of CO2 and at least one animal's life. And I like to bring up all these effects of animal agriculture because it's like everybody has their own thing that's in their heart, right? It's like you care about the animals, or you care about the rainforest, or you care about the oceans. Like everybody has their loves, the things that are closest to their heart. So I would venture to guess that for most of the people here, one of these things on this list is near and dear to your heart, maybe more than one. For me, it's every single one. I want to help the starving kids. I want to help the rainforest, right? I want to help the human population in general. I don't want people starving. I don't want people sick. I don't want people being hit by tidal waves because we're having storms, because the ocean's getting warm. Like, all these things are effects of our food choices. And it's not 100% controllable, but this is something that's within your power to do every single day. 3 times a day, no less, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, an opportunity to make a positive impact on the planet instead of a negative one. The tipping point is coming. We just gotta keep going to the other side of the boat. Bring your friends, bring your family. We're all gonna get over there and we're gonna shift this and get enough awareness. And you know, it's gonna happen naturally because people are getting so sick, right? People are getting the heart disease, the diabetes, the cancer, and the obesity, all of it. It's all food related, and sooner rather than later, people are going to figure it out and they're going to move that way. But we can speed up the process. We have a role to play here. We're leaders here at this festival. I see everybody that comes to a festival like this as a leader, a thought leader, right? You're coming here to absorb new information, to go out and share it with your community, to bring it into your life, to cultivate it, to inspire you, to share it with others, inspire others. And so I really hope that you can take that I've planted some seeds in you here that you can take out and integrate into your life and eat more plants, tell everyone around you, and let's do it in a really non-judgmental way, right? And like really understand, meet people where they're at. Like, I totally get it. This is what you've been told your whole life, that this is good for you. I'm sorry you've been misinformed. I'm here to give you another message, and there's another way. And when you make this choice instead of this choice, here's all the benefits. And it's like when you look at it that way, right, and you put it on the scale, it's like, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? And you're going to have so many benefits to your body. You're going to feel better about the animals. You're going to feel better about your contribution to the planet and living lightly on the planet, because going back to our values, right? Don't we all value clean oceans, clean air, clean planet, healthy, happy animals, healthy, happy, thriving body, right? So you're not getting sick, so you can go out and deliver your gifts to the world, right? That's what we're here for. Any more questions? Thank you so much. Namaste.